Okay, and we are live, hopefully, a minute early, at least by my estimation. Of course, I guess there's a little bit of a lag. Just make sure. Okay, good, and I just checked the sound. I'm getting a little bit better at this every time I go. I keep looking down here, not move my camera up here. Getting a little bit better at this each time I do it, but we're gonna get right into it. So I'm editing this ghost effects tutorial, which is it's gonna be a long tutorial, as if you would expect anything less from me. But the I did put a teaser out yesterday. I was trying to get it out by Halloween, or actually before Halloween, but such is life, and I've been really busy, so I haven't been able to get it out in time. So anyway, this is my edit so far, and I've been editing in Blender 4.5.3 because 4.5 is an LTS release, which is long-term support. And as most of you know who watch me, that's what I like to use for my projects, and that's what I usually do for like my reviews and stuff. So I've edited it so far in Blender 4.5.3 because it has all of my, not only is it stable, it has all of my really fast shortcut keys, and in fact the hotkeys, the Keymap. So if I come up to my preferences, you can see up here under Keymap, if you hit that, you have options up here, and I have different I have different really fast cuts. Started in 2021, and then which is actually a revamp of I think I'd made it a lot earlier than that. But anyway, all the way to March of this year, and essentially just you can change the shortcut keys. So if you go to your key map, and actually let me just go to Blender, you can choose Blender, and right here right away you have different preferences that you can just start changing. Now I don't know why my really fast cuts don't have that main those main options there. It could be because I did it initially with an earlier version of Blender that didn't include that stuff. Very well could be. I mean, this is Blender 2.7. Yeah. So if you look at Blender 2.7, I think I did my key map using Blender 2.7, which didn't have that. But Blender 2.8 and above, I think, included this, or maybe this was even in Blender 3. Anyway, doesn't matter. What I'm trying to do is mimic or revamp my key map system to fit with Blender 5.0. This is a little bit new of a thing. This is why I kind of been live streaming this, because 5.0 is changing the video sequence editor in a lot of ways, but really good ways. But they're vast changes. So I want to kind of get ahead of the curve and is it head of the curb or head of the curve? I never have looked into that phrase before, but I want to get ahead of it so that I can be ready for when Blender 5 comes out, which is next week. At least the first part of Blender 5, and then be ready for the long-term support release, which comes out next year. Anyway, so right now this is I'm just showing you Blender 4.5.3, and here is my really fast cuts. Basically, I can. Oh, I didn't change that. I mean, I did change that. I meant to keep it there. There we go. Okay, and my system is a bit slow, so I can drag my. Let me turn the scrubbing off. I can drag the timeline cursor by right-clicking, which you can't normally do. I think it's Shift right-click, but I got rid of the Shift. I just want to do right-click because that's so much faster for me. And then essentially this is what I do. This is what I do for my editing. So let's just go. I mean, I do keep scrubbing on usually because it's usually helpful. And essentially what this is a combination of the compositor and geometry nodes. And the way this behaves, so you can see, if I say something during my recording and I don't like it, I just pause and think of what I really want to say, and then I say it again. And sometimes it takes me like 15 different times, which you guys don't know because I cut it out. Which is why also the live streams are a little bit daunting for me because I actually am uh, trying to get better at talking because I can't cut this out because yeah, I mean I can later on, but not while you're watching it.
And the way this
So anyway, so what I do is figure out where I need to cut. Okay.
essentially what this is a combination of
Actually, I'm going to select these two handles first. So here's my last cut right here. I'm going to select the handles, and then I'll.
and essentially a combination of and the way this behaves is the compositor geometry nodes. And what I mean by that is we have and the way this behaves is
Okay, so I know I don't. See, let me go back because I need to listen.
and this acts just like and the way this behaves and what this and essentially what this is and this acts just like modifier here and this acts
Okay, so I don't think I want this. So I make a cut, which is F for me. Actually, let me turn on the screencast keys here real quick because you can kind of see what I'm doing. Which I wish I could just turn these on without. There we go. They're over here. There we go. So this is F and then X and then V, just to get rid of the gaps. Gosh, okay, I gotta turn this off. Okay.
this is a compositor modifier here and the way this behaves and what this and essentially what this is a combination of
So I don't think I want in the way this behaves. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of that.
What this is a combination of the compositor and geometry nodes. And the way this behaves is a combination of the compositor and geometry nodes. And what I mean by that is
okay, I think that's it.
What that means is we have
okay.
Way this and the way and
so this is right here. So basically what I want is just I snap it here, move it back, clear the gap.
Here.
Play.
And the way this behaves is a combination of
cut, move, snap, back, and clear the gap.
Of the compositor, and
it's super fast, and I don't have to look down at my keyboard for any of this because I have basically all on. I'm right-handed, so I use my mouse in my right hand, and then all my left hand is all my buttons. The way that Blender's default is, I have to look down because it's all across the keyboard. So we're going to try to mimic that and set everything up the same in Blender 5. I mean, I guess I could port this really fast key cut because it's just you can just import it into Blender 5. But because there's such differences between 4.5 and 5, I just want to start kind of from scratch, kind of building it up from 5 so that I know that it works with 5. So I'll do a little bit more so you can kind of see what I'm doing.
The compositor and geometry nodes. And what I mean by that is we have access, and what that means is we have access to and the compositor and combination of the compositor
hold on.
Fire here. And the way this behaves is a combination of the compositor geometry nodes. And what I mean by that
Okay. So
the
compositor and I hope that you guys can hear. I put the sound on my desktop audio down a little bit, but I hope you can hear it a little bit still.
Compositor and geometry nodes. And what I mean by that is we have access now to.
So what I mean by that is,
and what that means is we have access.
Okay.
Geometry nodes. And what I mean.
Okay.
Geometry nodes.
So I think I need to cut it here. Make sure the handles are selected. You can either delete or just select the handles and shift the handles over.
Right.
So
nodes. And what I mean by that, and what that means is.
So I say it again apparently over here. So I say what I mean by that, what this means. So I know that over here is going to be the other start. So I snap it, move, clear the gap.
Nodes. And what that means is geometry nodes. And what that means is we have
I don't quite like that. maybe I can, let's see, control click, and then I can move everything over, and then just
And what that means, geometry nodes. And what that means is
maybe moving this over just a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay. I haven't been getting any sort of texts or calls or anything until I start live streaming, of course.
And what that means, tree nodes. And what that means is we have access to all of the nodes that are originally in the compositor for compositing, and it functions
So this is just a gap,
compositing,
or
and
I mean,
it
a pause in my speech.
and it functions like geometry nodes, where you have a group input, and then you have your nodes, and then the group output.
So that's what I do basically. I mean, it's really super fast. So what we're gonna do this. So this is 4.5. Let's go to 5. I'll go ahead and save. I'll go ahead and save this here. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is go and edit the key maps and see if we can get this the same way. And so basically, you go to edit preferences and key map here. And what I believe I have to do first, I think, because it's a little bit wonky the way that I've actually had this kind of, I don't know if it's a bug or a request. Maybe it's a bug that's been open for a long time, for like 3 or 4 years. And they just started doing more. They just started doing more work on it. But I think I have to export the regular Blender first. So this is regular Blender. I'm just going to export it, and I'm going to go to I don't know. Let's just do templates, and then we'll create another key maps. I don't know. I don't know where to put it. And so I'm just going to name this like I've been naming it, really fast cut, and then I'll do underscore and happy November, by the way. Oh, and if you're in the States and you're somewhere where the time changes, remember there's a time change tonight. Fall back so you gain an hour. But that means that, depressingly, that the following days will be darker an hour earlier. So happy November. Okay, 2025, 11:01. Enter, and then export that key map. So then what we want to do is import it. So we import that. Just to go to find that again. Key maps, really fast cat 11:01. There we go. So now it has this. So okay, it doesn't look like we have our same Blender preferences, that this little area here, and I don't know why. Maybe it just doesn't save that for some reason. Okay, so now we want to find, and this is the hard part, is trying to figure out where those shortcut keys are. Now, I don't know if you can change the shortcut key. I think you can in certain areas outside of the preferences. So now I'm just going to go out here. Let's go to strip. If I want to change, the split, I can right click and I can say change shortcut. So this is actually the easy way to do it. So change shortcut, I can say I want this to be F. Okay, and then the hold split, I want this to be Shift F. So that's actually really easy. So now, instead of K, which is across the keyboard, and then I have to lift up my eyes, or look down at the keyboard and hit K and then look back up. It's super annoying. But I don't have to with the F, so now I can, oh, see, I don't have my right click yet. So let's see, it's shift right click, yeah. So shift right click is dragging your timeline cursor by default. So we can get rid of that shift in just a moment here. So I do F. So F will be the new, but that's going really slow. Why is that going slow? Let me check my oh, I don't have a proxy on. No, I do. I don't know why. It's, oh no, it's because it's proxies at 25% and I have it at 100%. Let's see. Oh yeah, perfect. Now it's smooth like butter. Okay. So, we've got that. Now let's get that right click. Let's see, what is that called? So sometimes I don't know what these are called. So if I do mm, view navigation, no, see, this is where I think, so the whole right click, I think I'm going to have to search for it up here. And I think it's either change frame. I'm going to type in frame because I don't think it's called scrub. I think it's called frame. Change frame, that's image. I want to do the sequencer. Sequencer tool, clip editor, preview sequencer. Here we go. Frame all, select frame, go to current frame. Okay, I can look at the key bindings over here too. So Shift S is snap. Okay, I want to change this too. The Shift S for snap strips to the current frame. I just want to do S. Currently, S is slide. So we can come over here and actually change it here. So transform slip strip contents. Oh, there's no shortcut key for that. There's got to be, because I'm pretty sure it's S. Yeah, that's slip. So why does that not show? Okay, that should show S right there. Assign a shortcut. There's already a shortcut there. Okay, so that's weird. Maybe another bug. I don't know. And then move is G. Okay, snap strips to current frame is Shift S. Okay. So we can change it here. And if I do that, let's do change shortcut, and I'll just press S. So now that's S. And let's go back, and I want to show you what that does to our sequencer over here. So now it's just S, you can see. And instead of an X, you see how all of these have X's over here? We have an arrow. And that means we can restore it to its original. And I can also click restore up here. You can see over on the same line as sequencer, the restore. If you see that at all on any of these, that means whatever category, there's something that has changed from the default. So okay, so now let's try to search for slip, because because I have frame. I'm search for frame. So let's do slip. Okay, so slip strips right here is S for the sequencer. So I don't know why it's not showing that. But anyway, since both of them are now at S, Blender's probably not going to know exactly what to do. Okay, so now it's just choosing. I don't know how it chooses the priority, but it's now choosing my snapping as the priority. But anyway, I'm going to click here this time and then press Shift S. And then there you go. Alternatively, if this is just S still, I can use this drop down, and then over here I can say Shift, and then that changes this to Shift S. So now slip is Shift S, and then snap is just S. And I like that better because it's faster. And I snap stuff to the cursor more than I slip the strips, the media in the strip. So there we go. Okay, so now we have, we don't have our fast shortcut for the right click yet. But now we can cut with F, and then we can take these and then S. Okay, but I don't know why it's okay. So for some reason, snapping. Oh, okay. I don't have both of the. Right. Okay. So also in 4.3, can I go back there? 4.3 or 4.5. I mean, when I select a strip, it selects the audio with it, and that's only if they're the same exact length. If I select a handle, it selects the other handle. unless I select it twice. If I click it twice, then it selects only the single. If I click it once, it selects both of them. This is not the default behavior unless you have the strips connected. So by default, Blender has this thing now where if you go to strip and then connect strips, it's by default these are linked. So it's always going to be that way. So if I click one of them, then the linked one follows. But this is for anything. So I can have like this video strip and this audio strip, and I can select both of them and do the connect strips, and now those will both move together. So it's a little bit different behavior in the new Blender with that connect strips. I don't like this though because there is really no option other than to unlink them to select and move these separately. But they move the same if they're linked. So I'm going to disconnect those strips. And I'm also going to disconnect these strips. And instead, I'm going to tell Blender if the video and audio strips are the same exact length, same exact frames, then select both of them just with one click. And that's hard to figure out how to do because I don't exactly know what it's called. I mean, maybe select. I don't know. It could be select. It could be change. Because I would think that scrub would be like scrubbing through the timeline, but technically it's changing the frame. So it has nothing to do with timeline cursor, which anyway, it's just hard to know the nomenclature and what you want to use to, pull up there. So okay, let's see. Let's try to look for sequencer. I wish there was a way to collapse these. There isn't that I know of. Sequencer. Okay, select. Select is left mouse button. Okay. Select toggle. Select more. Select picked linked. So select unconnected or select connected. Oh, I think actually the default, at least in older versions of Blender, the default was control click. And that is still this case. Okay, so I can actually look this up now by the key binding. So control click. So, and don't ask me how I know that. I don't remember how I learned that. But if I control click the strips or the, let's do this one, or the strips or the handles, I can select both of them at the same time. The only caveat is they can't be, oh yeah, so they can't be the same, or they can't be different lengths. So now if I control click, it's not going to select the audio because these are now not the same. Same thing with the handles. So they have to be the same exact frame number and the same exact length and like basically right on top of each other. And control click. So I want to do that without the control. So let's go back to 5.0 and then the settings. So I'm gonna select or look for the key binding instead, and I'll do Control CTRL. Is it click? LM left. Okay, it's Control left mouse button or left mouse. Okay. So now we're looking for the sequencer. Okay, sequencer. See, so we have sequencer and then we have sequencer tool, which... Okay, so I'm not... Okay, this is all control left mouse, circle select. Control left mouse. Okay, well, what is... Oh, here we go, sequencer. I passed it. Okay. So I'm now noticing that these aren't in alphabetical order, which is annoying. So anyway, okay. Control left mouse right here. Select linked time. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We want to select the linked time, meaning again, you have two strips that are right on top of each other. They're the same frame, start frame, and same end frame. So here, that's what this is, and we do control select. I'm just going to uncheck control. Oh wait, hold on. Did that work? Select link time. Oh, did I click shift? Oh, I didn't mean to click shift. Is this just none? How do I left click any? No, that got rid of it. Okay, restore. Oh, well, it didn't get rid of it, but because I'm searching now for the key binding, once the key binding changes, then this disappears from here. So instead, let's what I'm looking for is select linked time for the sequencer. So let's go back to the name and we'll do select linked time. There we go. So now when we change the key binding, if I set any, yeah, there we go. Then it just doesn't disappear. So left mouse. Now it's the left mouse, and I don't have to press control. Let's just make sure that works. Yes, perfect. Okay. And then if I double click or click it again, then it selects the single. And that's how I do it. So if I want to select a single handle, I just click it twice. But now by default, I just click and drag, and then it's both of those. Or just one, and then drag. So this is better than having them linked, because if they're linked, you can't choose to just select one or the other without disconnecting them, which is tedious. And I'm trying to speed up my editing workflow as fast as I can. So, Pygmacast! What's up, Frankie? You actually joined one of my live streams. Thanks for joining. I don't know if you're still on. I haven't been checking the chats very, very often, so. Everybody go check out Pygmacast on YouTube. Frankie's my friend, Frank Walk. He is a colorist. Is that how you say that? So he does color work for graphic novels and comic books and stuff, and he has his own out now. So go check it out. Hellstones is what it's called. So okay. Let's continue on here. I want to try to. I still haven't got my scrubbing yet, but this was good too. So we've got this going, and that's really fast. So let's do the change frame. I think that's what it's called. Change frame. So yeah, so we have shift right mouse. That's on the dope sheet. But it's also on the sequencer, which I don't know why we're not seeing that here. Cursor. Okay, could be that. Could be move cursor. I'm on mobile. Seeing you were live and popped on to say hi. Yeah. Awesome. Well, hi again, and thanks, and thanks for popping in, and enjoy the rest of your day. It actually looks like a beautiful day outside. I haven't gone outside yet, so hope you can get some good fresh air and then also get some of your work done. Okay, so let's do, okay, preview. Okay, this is not in alphabetical order. I don't see. Okay, I'm not seeing. Okay, frame, frame. I might just have to change the dope sheet, and it might change it in the sequencer also, maybe. Okay. Go to current frame. So this is the only thing that has frames. Frame select. Go to current frame. Control left mouse. Oh no, that selects the all. If you do control select on the right or the left side, it selects everything to the right or to the left, which is super useful, by the way. But that the default works for me there. Oh, here, this is also selecting the side of the frame. I do want to change this. Um, I don't know what I want to change this to, but I know what I want to use these instead of. I like to have the start and end frame, like the frame range, be the brackets. So let's do that. Set frame, set start. How do I set start frame? You know what? It's going to be easier here because I know where it is here. So range. Yeah, so right now setting the start frame is control home and setting the end frame is control end. So I'm just going to change that. We can actually just switch those again too. So change shortcut. I'm just going to do that's start frame. I'm going to change this to left bracket, and then this one is going to be the right bracket. And then let's go back to our these. So select side of frame. I can also just do what that was control home. So we'll just switch them so they don't fight against each other. So control home and control end to select the side of the frame. I don't need it anyway because it's redundant. It's the control click. I can just control click on the side of the frame. So it's basically select the side of the frame and select side of the frame down here. There's just they're all do the same thing, so it's kind of redundant there. Okay, so let's see if that works. So set we can do set the start frame here and set the end frame here. There we go. And undo. So that works. And then we can do control end, and that selects everything to the right. Control home selects everything to the left. Or control click on either side of the timeline cursor. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see here. I need to find that right click drag. Maybe we can search for the key binding. Drag. Okay. Right mouse drag. Okay, so it's drag right. What? Right mouse. How come it's not recognizing when I type drag? All right, well, whatever. Right mouse. We're looking for sequencer. Sequencer. Okay, it just says sequencer. What? Oh, so it's a menu. It says, this should say sequencer menu, this title, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But it's the menu, and that's the current behavior. So right click is that. Right. Okay. But I want, oh, it was, okay, hold on. So then, right. So the default is shift right? Shift right. Okay. So shift right mouse. Let's find the sequencer. And these need to be in alphabetical order. Why would it not be in alphabetical order? It's just a pain. Uh Clip. So I'm seeing, so set frame. Okay, so you have something called set frame and you have something called change frame. See here, right? Same thing. So change frame, shift right mouse, set frame, strip preview, shift right mouse. I think maybe set frame is like you can right what it says in parentheses strip preview. That is when I shift right click inside of one of these, then that's the one. So let's see. Let's if I do if I add in a color and put it down on the bottom. Well, let's just do this. Put it on the top. So now right here you can't see anything below it. But if I shift right click on what's below it, it only shows this. And I do like that. I do like that behavior, but I don't want to do the shift. So let's see if this works. I'm gonna just change the NLA editor. Set frame. I'm just gonna remember that because I don't. If I change the key binding when I'm searching for the key binding, once that key binding changes, it disappears from the search. So we want to go set frame. So okay, it might be this one actually for the sequencer tool. So I'm going to do the sequencer tool. That just makes the most sense. So I can either click here and just type right mouse, or I can just come over here and just say any, and that's just the right mouse. So that's set frame, and that's this. Perfect. Now I don't have to press shift. Okay. Oh, and perfect. It does it all. It does it all. So it does it. Change the frame and it sets the frame. Okay. So I have to remember that it's set frame. Set frame. I'm gonna make an actual legitimate tutorial on this eventually. So that is what we're doing now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to do. I can just start editing again and see if I run into any sort of snags. Oh wait, no. So I got the cut. Clear gaps. Okay, let's do that. Gap. Okay, remove gaps. So not clear gaps. Remove gaps in the sequencer is backspace. No, I'm going to change that to V. So V is backspace. Actually, I'm going to restore that. I want to change. Is there anything with V? Set keyframe handle type. Oh, yeah. But that doesn't, I don't have to worry about that in the sequencer. Let's actually go to the sequencer to see if there's anything in the sequencer. Just Control V to paste. So that's also a good idea to go just to check to make sure whatever key you want to use, it's not already being used by something that's really important for that editor. So okay, now we can go back to set frame, and then no, what was it? Gap. Remove gaps. So V, I'm going to change backspace to V, and then shift backspace, I'm going to change it to shift V. Insert gaps, I've never actually inserted a gap before. Shift equals seems like that would be kind of tedious. What is just equals? Is there anything with this? Nope, there's nothing with just equals, so I'm just going to change this to equals. All right. So we got that. Okay, and I think we're good. So now I'm going to let's save it. I know there's probably going to be more. Okay, yeah, but we can do those outside of this. I think I can just do those in the menu. So before we export this, let's do that. So I'm going to go to View, refresh all. You know what? I've got to pull this back up again because I want to make sure our refresh, Control R, sequencer, Control R, retime strips. That could maybe be one of the problems that I've been having. I don't know what retiming does. Oh, that's right. The retiming keys. I don't use those because I still haven't figured out how. I've tried several times and I just haven't figured out how to use those yet. Okay. So what do I want to change that to? I'll change this. I'll change that. We'll just swap them because refresh is Control E, right? Refresh all is Control E, which is weird. I'm just gonna make that Control R. Well, is hold on. Is just R? What's R? If we just have R. Sequencer. Is there anything R? Reassign inputs. I'm gonna change reassign inputs to Control E because I never do this, hardly ever. And if I do it through the menu. So we're just gonna swap these. So this will be Control E, and then refresh all is just gonna be R. It's just so much easier. Just type R and then refresh. Okay, so we are good to go. And refresh is refreshing the cache. So you can see as I play, the darker bluish purple or the lighter bluish purple is the cache. And if I do my prefetch frames, you can see it prefetches this here. But if I press R, it refreshes and starts over. So that's what the beauty of doing it like that is. Okay. All right, we are getting there. Let's see what else. We can change. I think we can change. Again, I have to see. So I want to do the set. So we did the set frame range, but we can do set frame range to strips, which is really useful. And I think what I did was Control Alt Shift Alt S. I think it was for the other one. Shift Alt S. Just make sure that that's not taken. Because that's easy. I do have to look down for that, but I don't do it that often. So I can just do Shift Alt S when I select the strip. So if I want this to be my frame range, I only want to render just this section out. I can do that and go View, Range, and then set frame range to strips, which currently doesn't have anything on there. So I can just do assign shortcut, Shift Alt S. And then I type Shift Alt S, and now that becomes the frame range. Super useful. So then I can undo that. I think we're getting there. X to delete is just fine. It's on the left hand. I can get that really easily. Copy and paste. Shift D and Alt D. I don't usually do a shortcut for adding modifiers. See here, slip strip contents. I don't even know what. Anyway, I mean that's working, I believe, right? That's still if I Shift S. No, hold on. Shift S. Oh, okay. S. Didn't we change that? It's not supposed to be that way. Strip. Okay, let's. Oh yeah. Oh, I must have gotten rid of that. Okay. Anyway, change shortcut. No, not left. Not left mouse button. Dang it. Transform. Change. Remove shortcut. Assign shortcut. S. There we go. And then that. No, I don't want that to be slip. Well, okay, let's just go ahead and add it here, I guess. Assign shortcut. No. Change shortcut. Shift S. Okay. S. Shift S. What? What is happening? Strip. Snap strips to the current frame. S. That should be S. Slip strips. Okay. Let's let's find out why. Slip. Oh, that's key binding. Slip strips. Why are there two? Why are there two here? What is this? One is repeat and one is not doesn't have repeat on. I don't understand that. Anyway, this is going to be shift. There we go. So, and this says just slip strips, but there's no slip strip contents. Content. Consistency, Blender consistency. Well, they haven't really worked on this. I think that they're going to in the future, but like, again, when I put this bug kind of request back in, not a bug request. I'm not requesting they put bugs in there. But when I reported this bug a while back, they took a look at it and they're like, yeah, this is acting strange. We should probably do something about this in the future. And they haven't. So, but I mean, they've been plenty busy with other things. I'm not faulting them for it. Anyway, so we've got I think what we need here. Let me just see. Okay, navigation, spacebar is fine. Jump to previous. Oh, okay, yes. No. This drives me nuts. So I can never remember if page up or page down works. If anything, jump to next strip for me intuitively is page up. I'm going forward, so I'm going up. I'm going backwards and going down, and this is flipped. So I could either flip them, but what I actually did before was, so jump to the next strip, I did, I think, Shift E. You're very shifty. Shift E. Just make sure nothing in the sequencer is Shift E. Okay, that's good. And then Shift W is backwards. So let's do, okay, that's not taken. Okay, so let's just go and do that here. Navigation, jump to previous strip. Oh, you can do a center now too. Interesting. I don't care about that though. I don't really ever need to go into the center of a strip. Previous strip is Control W, Shift W. Shift W, and then next strip will be Shift E. Okay, so now I can just do Shift W, Shift E, going back. I don't have to look any direction. I keep my eyes on the screen. Don't have to look down at the keyboard. And that's just so much easier for me. Turn that off. Okay, let's see here. Navigation, go to current frame. 0 is fine, and the numpad. Just it's right next to my right hand, so I can just do that pretty quickly. Play animation. Okay, so that's good. Control T is good for the use time code. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, select all A, Alt A, or double A is also, which is fine. Box select B. See, all this is the left hand. Select grouped. I don't ever use that. Select linked. I don't usually use that either. Handle. You know, I could select. Oh man, that might be a good idea. Maybe I change Shift E and Shift W to selecting the handles. I'll have to think about that. Because then I can just select the handles instead of clicking and grabbing. I just Shift W grab, you know, and then move. Shift E and grab, move. Because a lot of times when I end up cutting and then what is my, how come this reverted? Is that because maybe it's because I exported? I don't remember. Maybe I did a restore and I didn't remember. Anyway, change shortcut F. Change shortcut. No. Shift F. Transform. Okay, Shift S, right S. Okay, extend. Alt O is clear strip offset, which I don't use very often, so I'll just keep that way. Remove gaps V, Shift V. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's do this. Cut. So see how I cut it now, and the handles are not selected. I don't know if you can see. That's the handle selected, and that's the handles not selected. So what would be nice right now? What was it? Alt page up and Alt page down. Oh no, that's the going to the center. That was select. Select. Oh, there's no. We don't have any on there. So select left handles, and then I can G to grab. I'll think about it. I don't want to do that just yet. But we are getting there, I think. Add. Now we got Shift A is add, so that's fine. Oh yes, markers. Okay, so adding a marker is M. That's fine. Rename marker F2. Yeah. The only problem with that is you have to hover over the markers. So if I have my cursor here and I press M, there's my marker. But to rename it, if I press F2, it's going to rename the selected strip, the active strip, which is this one, the one in the white outline. So I actually have to hover over the markers area, there's this little area that comes up if you have a marker. If you don't have a marker, it doesn't come up. And you can also choose view markers or not show markers. And now there's no area. So this pops up. It's kind of hard to see, but if I'm hovering over here, now I press F2, then it will rename the marker that's selected. If I have multiple markers, you can see the one that's highlighted is selected, and that's the one, if you press F2, that's the one that's going to change. So that's okay. That's okay. You can also shift select them, and also A, select all markers. Again, you have to just hover over the marker area. So everything that you can use to manipulate the strips in the sequencer, you can do for the markers. Here, let's actually undo that because I want to be able to jump to the previous markers and really quickly. This one I think I had like J and K. I can't remember. J and K. But can I do something different? Okay, Shift S I can't do. Shift A, no. Shift A is add. Shift S is the slip. I don't like using Alt. Man, I don't think I can use. I don't use this very often, so I don't know if I care all that much. I might just keep it at J and K, even though I do have to look down for that, and then just make sure that nothing is being used for those. So let's do J. Nothing with just J for the sequencer. K is originally cut or split the strips in the sequencer, but because I changed it, sequencer. It's a good thing these aren't in alphabetical order. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, I'll do that. So let's go to marker and right click. Previous marker will be J. Next marker will be K. And then we can just go to do that. So J, K, and we can jump really quickly to different places. And quick tip or pro tip here: if you have you're jumping between markers and they're out of the frame, and I do jump to the next marker, it's obviously jump to the next marker. I can go to that frame by pressing 0. However, if I turn on follow current frame from this playback here, and now I press J, it's going to follow that with me. So I can jump there really quickly. I don't have to set my buttons or do 2 buttons of just 1 button instead of 2. And what this also does is if I just start playing from here,
is a combination of
right when it hits the end over here, the whole scene jumps and then it follows the frame like it says, and then it keeps going. So let's do this here like this.
The compositor and geometry nodes. And what
just
I mean by that
shifts
is
everything, and it keeps following that. The problem with that, and just so you know, is if it's doing that, if you're playing something,
to all of
and you try to move your sequencer around, so middle click is moving this around, it won't go to another area that's not playing the frame. So it'll just keep jumping back. So you got to keep that in mind. Um, so I think we're good with the key maps for now. I'll play around with it also later. I'm gonna let's go back here and uh, let's save the preferences, but I'm also going to export this key configuration here as the same name, you know. So it's going to be this really fast cut 1101 2025. And now I'm going to import it again, and I think this is going to be okay. Let me just check. So let's go to Blender, and I want to see if these have changed. Okay. So I need to make sure I'm not changing the Blender ones. So Keymap, Blender. Okay, so screen for some reason. I don't know what's changed over here. What's changed over here? Because it says restore. Okay, context bin. Okay, I don't know. Restore here, video sequence editor. We've got, restore. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and restore everything to their normal defaults. And then we can save preferences. Okay, strip. Okay, yep. So now this is all the defaults. Control E and everything. Okay, moment of truth. Now, when I change this to really fast cut, it should be, yes, good. All of my shortcuts. Yep, refresh all right there, and cut. There we go. Move, select. Okay, good. Yes, select. Perfect. Awesome. All right, I like this. So I've got this going, and if you see now, there are no restores here because technically the really fast cut hasn't changed since we changed everything, exported it as the same name, and then re-imported it. Now it's the original. So even if I do, for example, change something here, we'll just do new window here. Let's just say, I don't know, new window. We'll just say is just in for new window. Now we have a restore here, okay, and this is going to restore it. Well, you know what? Let's do just sequencer. Let's do a video sequence editor. Again, not in alphabetical order, so I don't know why. Here, we have something that is to be restored. I don't know what that would be. Which it should say that out here. I don't understand that. Set frame, right mouse. So if I restore that, is it gonna do anything? No, it just doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Everything stayed the same. Anyway, if I change something, so let's change this back to shift right mouse. Okay, now we have that restore. Okay, and then if I click that, it's going to go back to the right mouse button, which is the original of the really fast cut. All right, so now that we have that, there's one other thing that I like to do that doesn't require this being part of the key map, but quick favorites. So I like to put stuff in quick favorites, namely the connect strips. So I right click and say add to quick favorites. Now that's Q here. So if I hit Q, so I'd like to do this set frame range to strips, which is the Shift Alt S, which we set that today. But you can also just do it from here, Q and then select. If I start adding too many here, I might remove this because you can just right click and remove it. So connect strips. This one is to add an FSpy, import an FSpy file. I don't need that for the sequencer, but I was using that for like the 3D view. I don't know why it shouldn't actually show up on the sequencer if it's for the 3D view, but whatever. I'll go ahead and remove it for now. So we got connect strips. What else? There was another one. Oh, we could do checkboxes as well. So the prefetch frames, if I right click, I can do add to quick favorites. That way, I don't have to keep opening up this and going to the cache tab. I can just do Q and then prefetch frames. That turns the prefetch frames on, that's what it's doing. R to refresh that. And then I can just also uncheck that to turn that off. I can do the same thing for use proxies or not. I wish I could do it with, okay, assign shortcut. Okay, huh. Well, maybe I can assign a shortcut, but I can't do this as a quick favorite, which would be really helpful. So let's see, what else can I do for quick favorites? There was another thing that I thought. Oh, yeah, like these checkboxes here. So yeah, so scrubbing, add to quick favorites. I don't need to do the play audio because you know it. I can just hide the audio if I don't want to play the audio. Follow current frame. Ooh, wait, what? I can't. What? I can't make that a quick favorite? What? Oh, that's strange. Why can't I make that a quick favorite? Blender, come on. Hmm. I don't want limit to frame range because that means you can't move the cursor past the frame range, which I do a lot. Um, play in movie clip editor, interesting. Node editors, video sequencer. What do you mean play in video sequencer? This is absolutely playing in the video sequencer. I don't understand. Show subframes. Oh no, that's scary. It's got a decimal point. Image editor. Huh. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out. Thankfully, this was playing like it should, but when I let's actually I'm gonna open up a new instance, and by the way, I'm using the November 1st, the Blender launcher, the November 1st for the daily build. But I want to do a video editing here, and let's get that. Um, mm, mm, mm. G video footage here. I'm curious if I start playing. See, if I press play, nothing happens. I mean, you can hear the audio,
Interesting.
but it's not actually playing the video. And that's because you have to change this to frame dropping. You could change to play every frame, but it's going to be longer. But there we go. Now it's playing. So I don't know if that's just because of the type of footage it is. Let me see if I can load in my OBS footage. So let's just do that.
Again.
But I have to actually do a new video editing because I think it's just the initial, like when I plug it in here. Okay, S. Come on, S is supposed to snap. Am I not using the really fast cut? There we go. S snap. Okay. play.
All right, here we go. I think we are ready. I
Okay,
really
it's
hope
not,
we're ready.
but you can hear it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I don't
You
know
can
what's
hear it, but
happening
you
because
can't
it doesn't really matter.
see it change, and this isn't changing. I wonder if this has to do with the prefetch frame set. Oh gosh, I didn't. I have to save those preferences. Anyway, to get around this, frame dropping, and then you
All
press
right, here
play,
we
and it's
go.
fine. So a bit of a bug there, I think. Anyway, let's make sure we save our preferences here. Preferences, save preferences, which includes our quick favorites. I like this audio scrubbing. I'm glad we can do that. I wish we could do it for some of this other stuff over here. Let's see, select. Yeah, I think that's good for now. I mean, I guess I could do use proxies, but I don't really change that. I always have that on. Um, anything in here? No, no. Anything in here? I could maybe do opacity. That would be interesting. Then I wouldn't have to come up here all the time. Let's try that. Can I add to this? Oh, of course. Of course I can't. Add to quick favorites. No, it won't let me. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do some editing. As you can see, I still have, this is my ghost effect. I still have this clip and this clip to edit. Altogether, my recording was like 3 hours long, but a lot of that was like re-recording over stuff that I wanted to say differently, or I made a mistake or whatever, and long gaps and stuff. So I have cut it down to 50 minutes now. So I'm going to try to cut it down even a little bit less, but I still have this to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and edit. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the. Apologies for not reading the comments. There's not a lot of them today, and I'm also pretty focused. So, G Castro, do you save these key binds separately for VSC compared to what you're working in 3D? Um, I haven't, but it's probably a good idea. Um, I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed an overlap. You just need to make sure that the key bindings that you change don't overlap. You just need to make sure they don't overlap with what you're doing in 3D. And they might, and I might have actually run into problems that I didn't know how I ran into because of that. So it's probably is a good idea to do the key bindings in 3D separately. Something that I change when I do, just as a side note here, if I'm actually doing, like, I'm trying to think of how I would use this. So I haven't done these tutorials yet because I haven't really perfected this method yet. But if you do like any sort of stitching, like image stitching or just 2D work, oh, you know what? This would be good for geometry nodes, like a 2D workflow. So if you want like a title sequence or a lower thirds, and you just want like a simple 2D graphics, but you want to use geometry nodes to do it, here's how I would do it. I would Alt G, Alt R, grab that and move that up. So this is going to be our camera looking down. And then I would change the camera to an orthographic. And then orthographic scale, we can do one, actually probably not one. Probably we could do, let's do 10. I don't know. It doesn't really matter all that much. You can match it with whatever like footage. But let's just say, let's pull in footage here then, so that I can go background images, add image, and then I can just open a movie clip. So I'll just open let's go back to start. Okay. And then I'm not gonna use geometry nodes, but what I would do here is see how when I middle clicked and dragged, that's rotate. What I can do, and this is actually really easy. I go to preferences, Keymap, and Blender, and if you don't change your Keymap, again, if you change the Keymap, you don't have this option. But I can actually quickly change this really. I can change this really quickly. Where is it? Middle mouse action, orbit or pan. I want it to pan. And then set that. Now I can move this because I'm not going to need to orbit in 3D space when I do this. But if I want to add, text, and I know you can add text with Video Sequence Editor, but geometry nodes, if you're working with that can only be done in the 3D view. And so that's what you would do here. And if you wanted like fancy 3D title or even 2D, not 3D because if you wanted a fancy 2D title and all of that, you can do it like this where you don't have to. You can just middle mouse like you would in the Video Sequence Editor preview. And so I just put my 3D cursor over here, and then I can add in a text. Again, I wouldn't do this like this. I would do it with geometry nodes, but lower thirds here. Okay. And then let's do color management should be standard, which it is. The text material should be new, and we just want an emission, white, and there we go. Turn off overlays. Oh, well, if we turn off the overlays, that's not going to help. We can turn off the floor and the axes and the grid. Okay, and then we can click and drag and move that around, scale it down, and then I can zoom in, middle mouse, and it's not gonna rotate around. So that's what I would do. But what I think I don't really change anything for the 3D view. Because I just use all the defaults. I do add stuff to the quick favorites, but other than that, it's yeah. So if I work with the 3D, I just change it to Blender, and if I work with the Video Sequence Editor, I change settings here. I change the settings to my really fast cut. I should probably change that. It's kind of long name, like Justin Cut or J Cut, the J Cut. Okay, well, let's actually get to cutting our footage here. So I'm just gonna kind of demonstrate how I would cut. I did this a little bit before, but that was in Blender 4.5. So now we're getting to the nitty gritty of cutting in Blender 5 and testing it in beta to see if it holds up. And then if there are any bugs, then I can report them. So we can get rid of this color, and I don't need any of these markers.
And essentially what this is a.
Okay, so I gotta make sure that this is.
Selects the sequencer.
You guys hear this? Okay, maybe I'll turn this up on for the stream.
Selects the sequencer compositor modifier here. And this acts just like, and the way this behaves, and essentially what this is a combination of the compositor and what this is, and essentially what.
Okay, so I say this like 3 times here, so I can get rid of this here, cut that, and get rid of that.
And essentially what this
See how fast
is
that
a
is?
combination of the compositor modifier here. And essentially what this is a combination of the compositor and geometry nodes.
Okay, here's a gap. So,
geometry nodes.
or not a gap, a pause.
And the way this behaves
okay.
is
So I need to cut this out again.
Compositor modifier here. And essentially what this is a...
Oh, because that's right. I cut it out in 4.5. I didn't cut it out in 5. So I have to do this essentially again. Which I think it started here.
And the way this behaves...
I started here. So I can actually cut this out and this out.
Modifier here. And essentially...
Okay.
Modifier here. And the way this behaves is a combination of and geometry nodes. And what the compositor is a combination of...
The way this behaves is a combination of silence, silence, silence.
The compositor
of
the compositor.
See, I just cut out the silence.
And geometry nodes. And what I mean by that is we have access,
and you would never know,
now to all of the compositor nodes that exist. And what that means is we have geometry nodes. And what geometry nodes.
And then cut that out.
And what that means
is
the compositor and geometry nodes. And what that means is we have access to geometry nodes. And what that means is...
So I'm going to try something here. Right here you can see it's it's geometry nodes. What that means is like that cut. You can tell that there's a cut there because I don't finish nodes.
Geometry nodes. And
what would be nice is if I could actually find another instance of me saying nodes, but if I just have something...
Nodes that are...
Oh, yeah, nodes right there. Look. Oh, coincidence.
Nodes.
So what I'm going to do is copy this, just duplicate that. Oh, not both of them. Just that one. And then I'm just going to take this one and this one. Okay, this is me saying nodes. Okay, let's just move everything that way. Oh, I should probably turn on my screencast keys here too. Sorry, you can see what I'm pressing of what we just learned, what I just changed. Not really doing it in a tutorial, but 3 preview viewport, screencast keys on. They're down here. Let me change that. Draw area, bring that down darker, and then we'll move that up also on the Y here and move it over a little bit like that. Maybe a little bit more. Higher. There we go. Okay. Let's see.
And
so here I want
geometry nodes.
I want to extend the nodes because I go right into the next sentence, and that's where I want to cut it out. That's where I want to cut it out.
Nodes and what?
I have nodes and what I mean by that, but I would just want to say nodes. So I'm gonna take this one,
nodes,
and that's more pronounced nodes. Put that here.
Geometry nodes. Geometry nodes. Geometry nodes. Nodes.
I could just take the S and then take this and cut like that. Let's see what
tree nodes. Geometry nodes.
Okay, geometry nodes.
Geometry nodes.
Need to back that up.
Geometry nodes.
Okay. And then we need to extend just this one out. Why is that? Okay. Okay, that should just be selecting. If I select it twice, it should just be selecting this by itself. So now if I just shift select, oh, okay, that's not working either. I forgot to change that too. So shift select will just select one. Am I still using my really fast cut? It looks like I am. There used to be like a tweak here, but I think they got rid of it. There's a tweak up here, but I don't want the blade. Let me just switch back and forth. Is that gonna help? Hmm. Okay. Well, let me save it. I'm gonna reopen it. Okay, no, that's not acting like it should. Because again, the whole point is to be able to decide which one to select and which one not to select. Um, and what was that again? It was select. Okay, so we have to edit. I was hoping to get into editing, but we have to fix this. Select. Sequencer. There is a lot of selection options, obviously, in a 3D software program. Pretty much everything you do. Select linked time. That's the left mouse button. See right here, that's what this is. Select linked time. I don't know what this is. Oh, maybe any. Okay. Does that help? Nope. That didn't change anything. Linked time, linked handle. Okay. Deselect on nothing is correct. Act on click, extend, deselect. Toggle selection. That's not selecting them now. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the Blender one. Select linked time. Or do I have to put the parentheses? Linked time. Oh, restore. See, it's okay. Yeah. Control left mouse. Linked time. Linked time extend. What's shift? Shift control left mouse. So control left mouse, shift control left mouse. Hmm. I thought the default was if I clicked it twice, then it would just select. I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to do that. Really fast cut. Okay. Toggle selection would make sense to me, like having it be toggle selection. But that, oh, that's, now I can't select the handle. Okay. Act on click. Side of frame, ignore connections. No. Maybe, okay, maybe also it has to do with the selection, just regular select. Let's scroll all the way down to sequencer, which I don't remember where it is. Here we go. Select toggle, shift left mouse button. Select linked. Deselect on nothing. That's right. What if both of these are just left mouse? Now that is not the right behavior. It's the right behavior initially, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out maybe a little bit later. But now it's just kind of acting like the connection, the linked connection, connected strips, which it's not helpful for me. I need to be able to. Oh, here, I know what I can do. Because it's also supposed to be single. Okay. Shift select being single. Where's my shift select? Shift left mouse. Oh, wait, that's not sequencer. Shift left mouse. Select toggle. But I tried that. Oh, and that's actually not right either. So now I'm hitting shift, but that should be adding to the selection. Oh, I did something wrong. I messed something up. What did I change? Let's do it. Let's search for a key binding. Shift left mouse. What? Sequencer tool. Select toggle. Okay, select. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think might be it. Because this is the select box. It's the tool or the mode you're in, even though you're not using the select box necessarily. I think I have to do the toggle. I think I have to do this. Maybe? Just left mouse button. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's supposed to work with all of them. But shift select is still supposed to select multiple. So we have to fix that. Um, sequencer. Oh, this is so. Select toggle. Shift less mouse. Select unconnected. Ignore connections. What's this? Shift Alt left mouse. Select toggle. Going back to Blender. Okay, Shift Select should be adding to the selection. What? That's not even doing that? Adding to the selection? Why is that not working? Unrelated question for later. Are you on Linux? My Windows 10 machine can't update to Windows 11, so testing Linux. Which distro to use? Yes, I am on Linux, and I am also on Linux, hopefully now full time. I will probably keep a Windows kind of on the side if I just need to switch to it, but full time Linux because of the whole Windows 11 thing, and I'm using Zorin OS. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing distro, especially if you're used to Windows, and I specifically chose it for Windows, or because I'm coming from Windows, and it's the closest one to Windows, and it's the same feel. You can do pretty much the same things. Like everything is kind of in the same place. Um, when you go to like do your search for a program or search for printers or whatever, it's the same thing. You just go to the start typing, and it'll pop up. Whatever you're looking for will pop up. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. Um, but I could have sworn. Let me go back to Blender. I need to. Okay, let's get rid of this. I need to go and make sure we restore. Oh, that doesn't. That looks like it's. Am I going crazy? Let me go back to Blender 4. 4.5. Yeah, shift select normally is you shift and you add to the selection. Is that what it's called? Add to selection? Yeah, no problem. G Castro. Okay, I need. This is a little bit frustrating. This is not something I really wanted to spend time testing because when we initially did it, it worked. Um, you know, I could go back. To the default settings. I mean, changing this, does that wouldn't change anything here, would it? No. It's something that I did. It's something that I changed. But I mean, I'm using the Blender one, and nothing here looks like it needs to be um, restore. Well, maybe not restore. Okay, restore that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it was something in the video sequence editor. Um, sequence tool select box fallback. Set frame. Yeah. Um, box select shift drag control drag. I don't want the drag. Lasso circle blade slip. Oh, I now know why there was a different area for slip strips because this is the tool. They have a new tool here that is this slip strips, and you can just click and drag to slip that right away, which I don't ever use. So select box is the tool that we're using, the active tool. And this is really all. Sequencer tool select box fallback. Um, okay, so what about strip? Not key binding name. Strip. See, where are all these? How come I can't just go and... Is there another sequencer thing? Hold on. Do sequence editor. I've been waiting to do this Keymap thing for a while because I knew it was going to be a learning curve again because it's so convoluted. Um, outliner NLA editor, no. User interface, no. Trying to think of what other animation maybe? No. Clip. See, it should be under all under here. Oh, okay, sequencer global. Okay, I didn't open up this. Okay, here it is. Here are all of them. Okay, I need to look for shift left mouse. Shift left mouse, select toggle. But that's also I'm also shift clicking and adding select more, select less. No, that's not what I want. Shift left mouse. That's the only shift left mouse. Except for here. Restore, shift left mouse. Same thing. Okay. Well, okay, let's go back to my really fast cut then. And left mouse select, deselect on nothing. Select linked time, left mouse. Um, I'm gonna toggle selection. See, that works with, that does work with, but it doesn't work with the handles. Okay, it's not actually working in the way that I would have expected either. Maybe I can uncheck that. This one has the extend and linked time. Maybe I can make both of these left mouse. I don't know. Select link time. Left mouse. Um, I need to be able to click it or shift click. Okay, so that's doing something. It is toggling that selection, which is not what I want. I want it to only select one of them. How did I do that before? Okay, so this is not going to be shift left mouse, select toggle. Okay, linked time. Okay, I don't have the toggle selection there. I'm just going to click deselect to see if that works. Okay, no. That's just deselects them right out of the gate. What if I do this? Shift control left mouse. No. Okay. Okay, hold on. Now that's alt. Okay. Select unconnected. And that's alt. Deselect on nothing and ignore connections. What if I change that up here? What if I ask deselect on nothing and ignore connections for both of these? Oh wait, hold on. Nope, that doesn't. That does not do it. Select strips individually whether or not they are connected. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. 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 Um. Okay. I'm gonna uncheck that for the link time, but the shift left mouse for linked time, I'm gonna change this to Shift left mouse, and then ignore connections. I think that's going to be okay for the time being. And it's not. I'm just going to have to hit Alt. I'm just have to remember to do that. I'm going to have to change this. I don't exactly know what's happening here. So, Alt left mouse. So, okay. We're keeping it like this for now. I want to keep going with the actual editing. And we're almost at 2 hours anyway. So the whole thing is I just wanted to, so now it's Alt. Okay. I just wanted to extend this one out. That's why I don't like having them connected, because I want to be able to extend them out in L cuts or J cuts. So now we can do this.
Nodes. And what that means is we have geometry nodes. And what that means is we have geometry nodes. And what
Okay, geometry nodes. And then maybe you can put a little bit of a gap here. So let's see. Let's go here. Yeah. So here's a little bit of a space here.
And what that means is geometry nodes. And what that means is we have
maybe a little bit less. But I like it. I like it so far.
Nodes. And what that means is of the compositor and geometry nodes. And what that means is we have access to,
you can still kind of tell, but it's good enough,
to all of the nodes that are originally in the compositor for compositing.
Okay, we're going to keep going here. Oh, am I still, hold on. Dang it, am I still in Blender? No, I'm in my really fast cut. Oh, okay, there we go.
And in the compositor for compositing, and it functions like geometry nodes, where you have a group input, and then you have your nodes, and then the group output. The group input is going to be the ghost clip, because that's the modifier it's on. It's working as a modifier just like geometry nodes does.
All right.
So the group input is the whatever strip the modifier is on, and then we add nodes here, and then we nodes here, and then we add nodes here. So and then we whatever strip, and then we whatever strip geometry nodes does. So the group input is the whatever strip the modifier is on, and then we add nodes here. So for example, I can add in a color RGB to black and white, and plug that in here, and it makes it black and white because it feeds it out to the group output, which then feeds it back out here. Group output, which then
now it's working. Huh. Just magically works now. Like it was supposed to. All right, cool. I don't know.
Output, which
I don't know.
Feeds it back out here. Feeds it back out here.
Well, that's good.
Back out here.
I probably just wasted a whole bunch of time.
Let's go ahead and just bring the opacity. Go ahead and just go ahead.
Okay, this is a classic example of my uhs and ums that I can cut out. So I say
let's go ahead and
just
bring the opacity.
I don't need to say just.
Let's go ahead and
bring the opacity.
Boom. Let's go ahead and bring the opacity all the way back up again so that we don't have to worry about that. Oh, and it's on add. Let's just do alpha over for now, just so you can see the difference. And so if I mute that by pressing M, you can see it changes back to color. So this is super, super awesome. So
I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm mainly watching the strips here and the sound, especially. I go based on the audio waveform. That's how I edit. I watch that, I listen, and then I find the where I want to cut based on that. But then I'm also looking up at the preview at the same time, because you don't want to cut out everything that's just silence here, because it could be something I'm still showing on the screen that's still needed. So I'm constantly kind of going back and forth, looking down here and looking up
So
here.
now we can use all of the compositing nodes in the VSE workspace in our sequencer and see it.
Okay, I don't want to cut that actually. Oop.
Our sequencer and see it in real time, our effects, instead of having to render out everything and then import it into the VSE afterwards. It's so cool. Okay, so having said that, let's get our mask in here now. So we can add in an input mask, and then we can choose the mask.
Okay, see,
Input
this
mask.
also, I am sniffling, so it's like input
mask, and then
input mask, which you don't want to hear,
mask.
probably. So I'm just going to select the audio, which again, having only being able to select the audio is a must. I have to be able to do that. So I'm going to cut on either side of the sniffle, and then I can just take this one and Shift S to slip that to find an area where it's just blank. Pretty easy. And again, Shift S is my key map that I changed. So originally it's just S to slip those strips.
Mask. And then
and I might be able to move this over just a little bit to get that mask. Yeah, get that little mask. Like this.
Put mask.
Oh, that's right here. There we go.
Put mask. And then we can.
Okay, so that is getting rid of my sniffles.
Mask. And then we can choose the mask, which is the only one we have. And in order to plug this in, we need to do a. And in order to plug this in, we need to do a set alpha node. So let's search, and we can type in set alpha, or set, and then choose set alpha. Plug that in here between. Plug that in here with the image.
Okay, so let's see how many times I actually say that.
And then on the alpha, we can.
Okay, I just twice. So I'm going to cut this out.
Alpha.
So right after this is another tip. So sometimes I have to cut it before I breathe in, and sometimes I have to cut it after, because it just kind of, I try to make it sound as natural as possible. So if I come here, I go, you can kind of hear that, and then I'll cut it right before I say something.
Plug that in here.
Plug that in here, and then change that to here. So I'll move these handles to there and clear that gap.
Plug that in here with the image.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
Set alpha. Plug that in here with the image. And
Seamless.
then on the alpha, we can take our mask and just plug that into the alpha. And ta-da! We now have essentially what we did.
I'll cut out the
What we did the same way here. What we did the same way here with using the mask. We did the same way.
Okay, that's a big jump here. Let's see. I'm gonna undo that. See if we can. I'll move this here. That cut, and then I'll move these here.
What we did the same way.
Okay, now I need to figure out when my cursor actually moves.
The same way.
Okay, so sometimes I can get away with just doing. Oh, see, I can't. I would normally be able to select both of these handles and not these, just this one. So yeah, I still have to tweak that. I will tweak that, but I won't do that now. Can I just do Alt? There we go.